Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break to watch a movie sure would help a lot. Ba-ba-ba. But you don't know which one you should see. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. That's why we do the show. It's Grace and Mindy's Film Reviews. Ba-ba-ba. Plus all the latest movie news. Ba-ba-ba. You want a show that gives the scoop in a way that's tough but fair. You wanna go where your knees aren't beyond repair. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. You wanna know which new release has great panache and flair. You wanna go where your knees aren't beyond repair. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Grace and Mindy at the movies. Yeah!
Well, it's National Popcorn Day, which means it's the perfect time for Grace and Mindy at the movies, our second episode. I'm your host, Mindy Dunard, joined as always by my sidekick. She's the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson, the Bob Cousy to my Bill Russell, the olive oil to my bruschetta. I'm talking, of course, about my dear friend, Grace O'Nealihan. Grace, how are you this week?
Hello. I'm doing great, actually. Well, honestly, I crashed my car.
Oh, no.
Yesterday. I crashed it into a school. It was an adult school, so no one was there. But I hurt my leg, which happens all the time. You know, I'm classic me is hurting my leg somehow, one form or another.
One way or another.
Now, actually, when I hit the school, I wasn't hurt. I got out. I kicked the fire hydrant in anger, and then I broke my toe.
Oh, no.
And it's crooked to the left. It's fixed, but it's never going to go back. So one could argue it's beyond repair. Yeah.
Well,
how you doing?
At least you didn't hit the adults while they were at recess.
That's right.
It was a good week. You ever had pupusas?
After I eat Peruvian food, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
bathroom, I got a lot of pupusas.
No, not
misunderstanding.
What I'm trying to say is pupusa.
Oh, those little hot pockets.
Yeah. There's that new place, Giovanni's Pupuseria.
Oh.
It's right off of 228 on the Weymouth Quincy border. And so I saw a coupon, and it said, "Hey, it's all you can eat Tuesday night." And I said, yep, sign me up.
Yep, sure.
And so I
all Tuesday night, the whole night.
The whole night.
Wow,
it was all you can eat. And so they told me when I got there that if you take down 30 pupusas, that you get your picture up on the wall.
Oh, my God.
And you know me,
yeah.
I'm just like the girl in Sunset Boulevard. I never turned down a picture. And
I didn't see that one yet. That's in the bin?
I think it's in the bin.
Okay.
It's one of the older classics in the bin.
Right.
So I went after the 30 pupusas with reckless abandon. And so I got
Much like you drive.
Well, here's the thing. It was only a third of a mile away.
Right.
So it only took me an hour to get there.
So you got there with reckless abandon, and then you ate the pupusas.
Once again, with reckless abandon. But then, speaking of reckless abandon, after needing 30 hours to myself at the poop basin, this is where we are talking about pupusas.
Okay, now I'm with you.
My bowels were beyond repair.
Oh, my poor thing.
But
that's what that noise was. I heard a lot of screaming. I thought it was the stray cats outside.
In my head, it sounded more like a tuber. A big bassoon.
Yeah, right.
I
thought it was a marching band.
Yeah, it hit different octaves, and I covered the whole orchestra.
There it is. To make Beethoven weep in that bathroom. You did.
Make him. Could he smell, or was he just blind? Would he also
the jury's out.
The jury's out.
out.
I'm a little worried that he was hard of smelling as well.
That's right. Oh God! Don't two curses in one. That's just terrible.
Well, I mean, he's
Helen Keller.
so musically talented that
that makes up for it.
That Helen Keller could really snap.
That's right. She played the spoons.
Her syncopation was
beyond reproach.
Beyond reproach. Top notch all the way around. Speaking of just wonderful works of art, we both had a chance grab Revenant out of the bin this week.
That's right.
And just for this is only our second episode, so if this is your first time listening, Grace and I review current movies,
That's right.
or actually whatever's in the bin. But we've gotten really lucky lately, with
definitely.
current movies being in there, and we like to brush up on them so that I can keep in contact. I have something to talk about with my grandson Jeffrey, if and when he calls.
Jeffrey still hasn't called, huh?
Still hasn't called.
Oh my God.
He sent me a textual message saying that he joined a fraternity, though, which he seems excited about.
Great. I've seen Porky's was in the bin, and
you brought up Porky's. It stayed on your mind.
yeah, I can't let it. I keep thinking about it. It's those movies you think about after, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just hope it's not like that because
The fraternity.
the fraternity.
He says
is that movie about fraternities?
He
You know
said
my memory's going.
what was the name of it? Oh, right, it was Smelter Delta.
Smelt it down.
That was the name of his fraternity.
I never took Greek, so I don't know what that means.
I don't either. But if it means what I think it means, it has a lot to do with the papoose.
Papusa, yeah, I was about to say. Now, Jeffrey also sent me a textual message, and let me get my glasses.
What a
here.
thoughtful young man, I must say.
He said, I told him we were talking about this movie, and he was so excited, but I have to say this, I'm not sure what it means. Spoiler alert. Now, is that his car? Maybe his car is... Spoiler is falling out. You told me to say this before we get started.
No, that's just when you get the milk.
Oh!
And you know how it has that that label at the top where
That's
it says,
right.
drink it by this date? Yeah.
Well, I need to get his milk then. It's been a long time.
How long ago was
That
it?
text was about a week ago.
Well, this is a state of emergency for all of our listeners.
If you buy Jeffrey, please get his milk for him.
I'll feel terrible if we don't. But you know who had to eat a lot of things that had gone spoiled?
I sure do.
Was our lead
Your
character
favorite?
in The Revenant.
That's right, The Revenant. Oh, it's a good time.
So let's
Good time to that bowl.
Thanks, I tried. So let's tell our audience a little bit about this movie.
right.
Hugh Glass, Leonardo DiCaprio, is a down-on-his-luck American frontiersman in the early 1820s. While exploring uncharted territory, Glass is mauled by a brutal grizzly bear, Jonah Hill. Just kidding. And his body is torn
that's
up,
mean.
and his body is torn apart and wounded until it's nearly beyond repair. When Glass is left for dead by his hunting team, captained by the fork-tongued John Fitzgerald, Tom Hardy, who also kills Glass's out-of-wedlock Native American son, Glass is forced to persevere through frozen tundra in order to earn his revenge.
That was almost better than the movie.
Well, thank you,
No
sir.
description.
That's high praise because I really liked this movie a lot.
That's great.
I was enthralled by the mise en scène, which our,
And the cinematography.
and the cinematography,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautifully shot.
This is the same director who did Birdman last
right.
year.
Now, again, our complaint, not enough birds.
Not enough bird. Yeah,
Not a single bird in that
you
movie.
can never have enough birds.
That's right. And you know, Birdman makes a cameo in this movie. I don't know if you remember that.
Did he really?
He showed when they're looking up in the sky and there's a comet flying by. That's Birdman
Oh,
right there.
yeah.
That's how tying in. He flew back in time.
I love it when it all ties
That's
together.
so great. Yeah, I love
It's
that.
the only movie where there was enough birds was that Alfred Hitchcock one.
Oh yeah, Vertigo.
That was right. Yeah, that was just the right amount of birds.
Just perfect amount.
When I watched that movie, I was like, his bird usage is mwah. Revenant. I had to look up what this. What did you think that it meant going into it? Did you know what Revenant meant?
Well, I thought this was a car movie.
A car
I thought
movie,
he was
okay.
revving.
Oh, like revving up the
Yeah,
engine.
he was revving up the engine.
Revving it up.
Yeah, I thought this was another Fast and Furious movie, and I was very confused for the first half of it, and then I realized, oh, this must be a completely different movie.
Oh, you must have been just out to lunch.
I sure
You
was.
must have been thinking to yourself, where are all the cars? This
That's
is
right, not a single. And if you remember, not a single car in the whole movie.
not a single car.
No, they weren't invented yet.
1820 Frontier.
Which I thought was at first was a strange take on Fast and Furious. I'm like, how are you gonna have a movie without cars? Then I realized it's a completely different movie. That's my mistake again. But
I think that would be a good movie, though. Fast and Furious 8. No cars allowed.
Sure, because it's so loud. The whole movie's so loud.
It's so loud.
I just like a quieter version of
I would
it.
just like my races to be nice and tranquil.
And separate.
I like a nice, tranquil drag race.
I'm talking about different races. Sorry, go ahead, sweetie.
Grace, you might want to...
I'm sorry.
I'm just a little slow in the uptake, but you might be right. You might make a point. I thought a Revenant was a preacher. That's what I thought. So I thought this was going to be about a preacher.
Like a Tyler Perry movie?
Like a Tyler Perry movie, yeah. I thought it was going to...
He's so funny.
Those fat suits.
Oh, my gosh.
I
I love a man in a fat suit.
do you really,
I do.
Grace?
Something about it. It's just so hilarious to me.
That's how Carlos got to you all
That's
those
right,
years
yeah,
ago.
that's right. Oh, my sweet Carlos.
What a charmer.
What a child. He waddled up to me. I thought, who is this fat bastard? 40 years later, I was married to him before he, his untimely passing.
Yes.
Turns out it wasn't a suit.
I,
Tricked me for 40 years.
he
He told me, no, I'm
such a
eating for
shame.
this suit. I just thought I was part of his character. Oh, he's a fat suit. He's eating all the time. Whatever I want. We had a laugh. Make me bacon with extra ranch.
Now it makes sense to me that every time I gave his nipples a little twisteroo, he would always look like he was in pain and anguish. And
And
he's
they
like,
bleed after. I thought he just put some packets in there
some
with
packets of
something.
ketchup, yeah.
You really gave him a twist.
I gave him, yeah. I like to shake it up, baby, twist and shout. That was my approach with Carlos. I wish I had known earlier, because I think he didn't like me very much going into his passing house.
I thought it was part of his character not liking you, but I thought the real Carlos liked you. But
Well,
we're getting off topic.
you can't win them all.
No, that's right. But speaking of which, the Revenant.
The Revenant, yeah. So what it actually means, I looked up the definition in my 1986 Webster's Dictionary that I have on my coffee table. So there's two meanings. It either means someone who simply returns or someone who returns from the dead, like as a ghost or as a spirit.
Oh, my God.
And so,
Jesus.
Grace, my first question for you, have you ever had an experience with a Revenant?
All right, now I'm getting scared because there was a time where I woke up in the middle of the night and I swear I saw a figure in my door.
Sound the alarm.
Sound the alarm. I flicked on the switch. It didn't work. So I figured its ghost must be sending out his EVPs or whatever you call it. Turns out it was Robert trying to fix my light bulb.
Robert?
Trying to fix my light bulb.
Robert, not only the producer of the show, but also the maintenance man in the building. His ineptitude as both a maintenance man and a producer is matched only by his nonchalance.
That's right. So I just saw a big Italian hairy bastard there.
Yep.
Turns out it was just Robert. So yes and no to answer your question.
Well, Robert is constantly a revenant in my life.
That's right.
Because every time he comes in to fix the furnace, I say, oh, he's going to be back anytime now because it's not going to be fixed. Robert never gets it right the
we're
first
still
time.
waiting for him and Christ. Those are the two people we're waiting to come back.
Yeah.
Never do.
I'm not sure which one I'm more anxious about.
I don't know.
And
honestly.
my room is freezing.
It's freezing in there.
It's freezing.
I've been in there. I can't go in there without a sweater.
If Christ did come back, you know what I'd ask for his first miracle? Find Robert and get Robert to fix something in my room. I'm so...
He's the one. He still wouldn't be able to do that with all his powers and everything. What do you call him? Powers?
Jesus, his powers, I think. His superpowers.
He can fly.
I mean...
You can't make Robert be a good person.
He'd be like, look, lady, I can walk on water, but I can't teach a fat dog new tricks.
That's right. Now let me ask you, Revenant or no Revenant?
Now let me tell you something. Much like your story begins, I awoke in the middle of the night. And
So
I
8
see,
o'clock.
Yes. It was, I had passed out a little later than usual.
That's right.
Because of the proposers. They put me right to
You
sleep.
gotta stop going there. You gotta stop going there.
You know what? The nurses and doctors here tell me to face your fears.
I see.
So I'm trying to bring it up when I can. And anyway, I see a shadow, billowy figure in my doorway, and
I'm getting chills, but I think it's because we're recording in your room. Go on, sorry.
and so I said, "Halt! Who goes there? Friend or foe?" And she said, "It's me, Dottie Lamar." Do you remember Dottie Lamar?
I don't remember a lot, Dottie Lamar.
She was up in 4B. I said, "Dottie, what are you doing here?" and she said, "Ooh, I want to borrow your kitty cat sweater."
Oh.
And I said, "Whatever you want, but first, what's heaven like? What's it like upstairs?" And she said, "Mindy, heaven? I'm still alive. I'm just upstairs in 4B."
It's scary.
And I was like, that's impossible. You haven't been around. I thought you died. And she said, "Nope. I'm as chipper as a chicken."
Well, that's spooky because I remember the next day you and I went to the front desk and we said, Dottie Lamati was in her room last night. She came down from 4B and they said, "There is no 4B." And then they checked it, it was a clerical error. There is a 4B.
There is a 4B,
It was
yeah.
scary for a moment there, but there is a 4B, and God bless her.
I mean,
God rest her soul.
let's keep in mind whoever the building manager is who hired this woman at the front desk
Sure.
is the same woman who hired Robert.
I
So
think
like
that
you
goes
can,
without saying. This place is terribly
Yeah.
except for the movies we get. Everything else is
The
terrible.
movies are top notch in
Yeah,
that bin.
It's a compromise.
If it weren't for the movies, I would want to lead a coup d'etat.
Sure.
And just get everyone out of here and rally the troops. So, time to play one of our favorite games on the show,
Yes.
called Did You Like It or Didn't You? So, Grace, your turn first. Did you like it or didn't you?
Well, I got dizzy. The camera would not stop moving.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting dizzy. I had to step out after the first half hour, and I got dizzy. I missed the whole other part. I got back. I was super confused. I'm like, why is he in this new town? What's going on?
Yep.
I figured I'd walked in the wrong movie, so I got out again. I went to another movie. It was what's that one that's out now with the guy with the face, The Big Short.
The Big Show. Oh,
That's
yeah.
the one. And so the first half was great. The second half, a lot of jokes I missed.
So, when they end up on Wall Street after being in the forest,
That's right.
you
I got lost, yeah.
you thought at the time that they had just jumped way ahead.
That's right.
Way ahead into the future.
Again, I thought it was a very progressive Fast and the Furious movie. I still held on to that belief
Well,
to the end.
it's interesting you bring up The Big Short because, the thing about Revenant is it's so hard to come up, if you didn't like it, it's so hard to come up with like a clever movie critic pun. You know what I'm saying? Like, say you didn't like The Big Short.
Sure.
You could be like, Big Short, bigger disappointment.
That's right.
Or
This movie comes up Big Short.
yeah, this comes up really big short. It'd be so easy. It'd be like taking candy from Robert when he's asleep.
Which is 9 to 5 when he's supposed to work.
So easy to
So easy.
to steal it from him.
But, which reminds me, did you like it or didn't you?
I enjoyed this one quite a bit.
Oh, good.
This one really struck a chord with me because I had, much like our hero, who was left for dead in the wilderness and had to crawl his way back and live off the land, I had an experience much like that back in March when I fell and I couldn't get up. And so I was on the ground and I had to live off the land. And
I forgot about that.
yeah, I had to, and plus, of course, the furnace was out, so I was in the bitter cold.
right.
I had to take my big bearskin blanket on my couch and wrap it around me.
The gutter horse.
I had to
inside.
I had to gut my toy horse and sleep inside it for hours. And no one came, and I just had to crack open some peanut M&Ms that were on the ground. And just live off the land. And yeah, until someone came and saved me.
Now, I should just tell you, you told me we were going to watch this movie. I assumed you meant in the theater. I didn't know it was in the bin. So that's why I drove to the theater.
Well, at least you got some fresh air.
I sure did.
Major performance from Leonardo DiCaprio in this one, who I gave him a hard time last week for not being able to do an accent. This movie isn't a problem in terms of being able to nail an accent.
That's right.
Because more than half his lines are grunting and breathing in pain.
The bear had more lines.
The bear had more lines than
Leo.
By the way, if there was an Oscars for animals, this bear would be best. I found out after that it's a CGI bear. That's how good.
Is that right?
That's how good the bear was.
My God.
The bear was so good I didn't even know it
That's
wasn't
amazing.
a real bear.
Ooh, can we do our segment, If This Movie Were Animals?
Yes, of course.
That's when we cast this movie with animal. Obviously, the bear stays as the bear.
The bear stays the bear.
Leo would be a collie.
Like a dog?
Yeah, like a dog.
Okay.
All right. Tom Hardy would be a boar.
A boar, yep.
Not his performance, of course. Was not a boar.
The performance was very exciting.
But
well, here's the thing. Besides that, the cast is a who's who of
right.
names you'll never
That's right,
remember.
that's right.
There's the redhead guy from About Time. He in this movie would be a raccoon.
That's right. Who fell into a Cheetos bin
Fell into
for the red hair.
But yeah, got stuck in the Cheetahs.
As raccoons often do.
As they can't resist.
That's right. And lastly, the Indian. Can we say that now? Or
The Indian.
What's the right way to say it?
I think the accepted vernacular is American Indian.
American
I think
Indian.
that's what they like to
right.
be called.
Okay,
these
right.
days.
Because you got to distinguish from these ones and the other ones.
Right.
That's right. He would be a wise owl, because it's like he's giving Leo Tootsie Pops.
Yeah, that's
time,
right. Just like those commercials.
That's right. Before I don't want to spoil what happened to him.
How many licks does it take you to get to the center?
Well, I do 14, and then my diabetes kicks in, and I gotta stop. So 14's max.
see.
Yeah.
It's a fate worse than death.
Oh my God.
Getting
Kill me now.
The sugar.
I'd rather be mauled by a bear. Yeah.
the sugar,
sugar,
as it's called. In my day, 134.
Is that right?
That number has since dropped to 212.
You just get antsy and you bite it.
My tongue just isn't quite as sharp as it used to be.
That's right.
We lose a step in old age.
They don't tell you that when you grow old, that your tongue becomes like sandpaper.
Yeah, and then eventually, when you're on the verge of death, your tongue is beyond repair. There's nothing to be done.
So that's the animal one. Let's talk about the real movie.
The real Leo. So we were tough on him.
Sure. Well, you were. I love Leo.
That's true.
Didn't like his accent in this one.
No,
couldn't understand it.
really.
That's right.
See, for me, it was by far the best performance of the year by an actor who has more than half his lines as grunting and Wait, hang on a second. Was 50 Shades of Grey this calendar year?
I believe so, yeah.
It was, okay.
You know how I know? Because the Mullen Wayans parody's coming out soon.
That's
So
right.
it has to be.
Those always come within the same calendar
that's
year as the
exactly.
original. So actually, Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey was my favorite, where half the lines are panting and grunting in pain.
Right.
So let's go on to another new game of ours on the show.
This one's fun.
It's called Were You Enthralled or Weren't You? So, with Leonardo's performance, Grace, were you enthralled or weren't you?
I was captivated. I went back to the bin and rewatched the whole movie.
Wow.
So that's how much again, I was very confused with the Wall Street aspect of the movie.
That's
but
true.
Now I understand.
You need to add up the
I need to
details.
add the details. And I was so surprised. I wasn't enthralled when he shot at the American Indians. I felt like it was very confusing. Who's good and who's bad?
That's true.
What I didn't understand. There's always got to be one. You know what I mean? It's got to be black and white.
Needs to
This
be-
case, this case.
I think I know what
you
you're
know what
going
I
to
was
do.
going to say, but I'm not going to say that.
And I don't want the FCC
Sure, I'm gonna stop
to
that.
bounce us off the air.
But I was enthralled by the bear. I wish it was the rest of the movie we followed the dead bear.
Yeah, that would have been a good movie.
That would have been a good movie. Could have turned to a cartoon or something. Mindy, were you enthralled or not? I have to ask the question.
Yes, I was, and that opening battle scene, just like in Birdman, the way that Alejandra, in a rat suit, the way he swoops around with the camera and captures all the action.
Right.
His way with a camera. In my mind, I was like, wow, him with a camera is just like Larry Bird with a basketball or Jimi Hendrix with a needle. I was like, my God, he knows how to shoot with that thing.
That's right.
He can really
Or
shoot.
Jeffrey with a pen. His penmanship is perfect.
Well, you don't shoot with a pen, but
What are we talking about? Oh, I'm confused. I'm sorry.
but he does have great penmanship.
That's right.
I had to
His
learn.
text I can read. He's so easily.
So easy to read.
Yeah, so easy to read.
They're in just the right font. Last week we reviewed Hateful Eight, where it's a long journey through winter. It's followed by a huge explosion.
Right.
this was
Am
kind
I
of the...
supposed to fill in something here? Sorry, go ahead.
All I need for you is to be enthralled.
I am.
This
I'm watching
movie
your hands very carefully.
was the reverse, where it starts out with a huge explosion,
That's right.
and then we follow Leo through his long journey through winter.
Let's go on to a new segment. You know what I learned? I'll let you start.
You know what I learned about this movie is that Leonardo DiCaprio, seeing that he won Best Actor at the Golden Globes, is probably going to win his first ever Oscar. And it's just like Dottie Lamar, who you may recall
Earlier from the podcast.
was the Revenant
Right.
in my life.
That's right.
But also, you know how she kept coming so close to winning Citizen of the Month, but it would always be such a strong month, and the home would just be filled with immense philanthropy.
That's right.
Before they'd pass on. But then there was that one month in particular where this place was just overcome with moral corruption, and no one had ethics. Were just out the windows.
That was a dark time.
That month, Dottie Lamar, she didn't do much. She just she threw a pizza party.
That's right. Cheese.
With cheese.
All cheese.
Yeah, all cheese. The slices were uneven.
Diet Pepsi.
And diet.
Not even Coke, which they sell, by the way.
Yeah. It was a lose-lose in the soda department.
Sure.
But that month, I think the committee was like, you know what? She's come so close so many times to winning Citizen of the Month. It's a weak month. Let's give it to her.
And that's what you learned.
And that's what I feel like is going to happen with Leo
Yeah.
at the Oscars.
That's very insightful. You know what I learned?
Yes.
Horses, as elegant as they are, you hit them with a tree and they're dead.
Plop goes the weasel.
Plop goes the weasel. Your turn.
Another thing I learned?
Yeah, just rapid fire. Let's go really quick.
Okay. You know what I learned? That when you have a Native American son out of wedlock, your dreams become absolutely surreal.
You know what I learned? When you have a child out of wedlock with an American Indian, they get all Indian. They don't get any. They don't get any of the other.
That's very insightful.
Your turn.
You know what I learned? That sometimes even a redhead can be a great leader of men.
You know what I learned? Thank you for saving me at the end.
I'm here for support.
You know what I learned? That if you're mauled by a bear, you're not necessarily gonna die.
Speaking of which, you know what I learned? When you're mauled by a bear, he can get you to do just about anything he wants.
That's right. I wish that someone would maul Robert. Because
no one's big enough and hairy enough
that's
to maul Robert.
right.
Robert's the grizzly bear of this
and if he
place.
comes in, you just play dead.
What else can you do?
What else can you do?
He plays dead with fixing things.
That's right. But enough about Robert. So that's what we learned. This is every movie is an educational experience. That's why I wanted to do that.
That's a great little segment of ours. I like that.
That's right.
We have time for one more game.
That's
right. So one of us is gonna make a sound, and you say if it was A, Leo, Hugh Glass in the movie.
That's right.
B, the beer, or C, Carlos's carburetor.
Or D, when Mindy's in the bathroom.
you
That's just a fun one. We don't have to do that.
No, that's good. We'll throw in 4 choices,
Okay,
just
4
like a standardized test.
Great.
Would you like to kick or receive?
In the spirit of the Super Bowl, I'm going to kick.
Go Pats!
Go Pats! Go Pats!
I
You're
hope
gonna
they
make
get
it this year. So I will kick.
I shall receive.
This is just me clearing my throat, and then I'm going to do the noise. I just want that to be clear.
Okay.
Okay.
Carlos's carburetor.
You didn't wait for me.
Damn it.
Yeah, you gotta wait. And as we know the rules, you only get one guess.
Oh.
So it's your turn now.
Well, call it stumbling out of the gate.
Sure. You know what? We'll do it. We'll call it a mulligan. I'll start again.
I'll get my mulligan?
Yeah, you get your mulligan, as they do in football.
Thank you.
Don't guess. That's a clear in my throat. Okay.
I've learned my lesson.
Very good. Much like Jeffrey in college.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm starting that strong.
I'm going to go with Be the Beer.
That was Be the Beer. That's right. Perfect. Very good.
It was, it was close because some of my farts that night
But beyond repair.
were beyond repair. They were of that octave.
This was when the beer fell on Leo.
That's
that moment.
right.
That's
right. And he went like, and he did.
Hey, your turn.
Ah, woo, werewolves of London.
I know this is not right, but I'm going to go with E. Edgar Winter. I forgot the artist.
You off-roaded there.
I did, I sure did.
The artist was Warren Zevon.
Warren Zevon.
Covered by me, Mindy Dunard, the other night in the bathroom.
That's right. So that was D.
That was D.
That was D, of course.
Mindy Dunard in the bathroom.
I knew it wasn't Edgar Winter, but I did want to name drop.
Wasn't he a poet?
Who am I thinking of? Who's the scary white guy who sings that Frankenstein song? It's not singing, it's all instrumental.
All right, it's Michael Bolton.
That's right, that's the one. All right, this is me kicking off again.
Nah.
I'm sorry, that was my cell phone. Let me silence that. All right, let me get... Here we go.
I'm going to say that was Leo in one of his dying breaths. Or near-death breaths.
That's a good guess, but it's actually F. Robert trying to pick up my dresser.
Wait a second.
Scroll, yeah.
Oh, there was an F.
There was an F. I'm sorry, did I mention that?
It was Robert doing
Well,
what?
there can be a Warren Vans, whatever. There can be an F with a
There could be Michael Bolton on this.
right.
My turn?
This is for the beans.
For,
What's the score?
it's
1-1.
1-1. This is for,
No, that's not true. It's 1-0.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm tying it here. So for all the beans.
Here we go. For every last drop of marbles.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wolfman Jack.
You're going with G. Wolfman Jack.
That's right.
Just to be clear.
Just to be clear, Wolfman Jack, the famous radio DJ from yonder.
And the answer is A and G. It was both.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yep, it was H, both A and G was the
amazing.
answer.
That's great. So we're tied for all the beans.
We tied. We get to
All
split
right,
the beans.
everybody wins.
Well, nobody wins because my stove won't be able to cook those beans because of Robert and his hapless buffoonery. What a joke.
What a character.
Are we at the end of our time
I
here?
think so. We're going to go to our last segment, which is ending the podcast.
Ending the podcast is brought to you by Hoffman Funeral Homes. Bring everything to a solid end. So I'm Mindy Dunard, and this was Grace O'Nealihan.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
And welcome to Grace and Mindy. Oh, no, wait, sorry.
Wait,
that was
you're throwing me off here.
I mixed it up. Unlike Hoffman Funeral Homes, I did not bring things to a good end. So thanks for listening.
And they'll
and
never mix up your bodies. That only happened once.
just
So let it go.
just like Spider-Man, everyone gets one.
Right.
Well, take care.